Hi everyone, welcome back to What's New in Swagger Hub Explorer. Today I'm going to cover two new commands that I've added to the Explorer CLI. The first one is for exporting spaces. So if you have spaces in Explorer, you can export them locally to your file system, make any changes, and then use the second command, which is import spaces, which will then re-import, apply any of the updates. And it's also useful if you want to share your space with one of your colleagues or co-workers. So what we're going to do now is just run through the commands themselves. So here is Swagger Hub Explorer, and I have quite a number of spaces here. So one of the things that I often want to do is I want to be able to change some of the configurations, some of the keys, maybe some of the parameter values that I have in the spaces, but currently that's not yet enabled through the UI. So in comes the handy little utility. So let me just bring up my command line here. So I've installed the latest version of the Explorer CLI. And if I just show you the new commands, we can see we have export spaces and import spaces. And I'm going to drill into the export spaces command first. And just bring up the help menu, and we can see that the only really thing that I need to provide is my Explore cookie, which we've covered how to get that in the past, and it's also documented in the README of the CLI itself. Once I have that, I can then run a command to export my spaces. So I just provide the relevant session and cross-site request forgery token that are needed. Run the command, and this is going to go and grab all of my spaces from Explore and put them into a particular structure, and it's going to then export them into my file system. So that's all done. If I wanted to see a more detailed breakdown of what's happening there, I could add in the verbose flag, which would give me a breakdown of things that happened at each step. So now that I have that, I can make some changes and I can import. And what I'm going to do is bring up another Explorer window that I have here that I'm signed in as a new account. And here I have no spaces. So what I'll want to do is import some spaces that have been shared with me by my colleague into this particular space. So I'm just going to grab a different cookie and token for this one. Again, bring up my command window, just get rid of everything that's here. Explore.cli. This time I want to import spaces. Again, if I look at the menu for this, very similar. Again, I have to provide my Explorer cookie, and then I also provide a file path, which will give me some more, which will actually provide the location of the file that contains the spaces that I want to import. And again, there's the verbose flag if I wanted to see a detailed breakdown as to what's happening. So I'm going to provide my Explorer cookie, and I'm just going to grab a file path of some spaces that I want to import. So there will be 4 spaces included in this particular file. So it's going to process, make sure that it can process the file, tell me that there's 4 spaces, and then it's going to iterate through those spaces and import them into Explorer. So we should have a FinTech workshop updated, an OpenAI space, a PETS adoption developer validation, and a Swagger Hub portal space. So if I jump back into Explorer, we can see that these spaces have now been created. I can drill into the details. So I see that there's a payments API. Within the payments API, we have 2 API connections. If I drill into one of these connections, all of the details, all of the request parameters, body parameters, if applicable, authorization parameters, they're all persisted. And now I can immediately start exploring the API that was shared with me and contained within that space that I have imported. So again, to get up and running with the CLI, just head over to NuGet, look for Explore CLI. All of the install instructions are there. all of the instructions for the commands and how to get up and running, how to extract the tokens that you need from your active Explore session, all detailed there and ready for you to get going. So that's it, everyone. Happy exploring. Thank you.